There was a time on Instagram when documenting your lunch was something that people liked to do. And then there was a very long period of time where we did not like that. We didn't care about your lunch or your coffee run or your kitty cat. We just wanted information. And now we've come full circle. We're back to people wanting that raw, real, in the moment, what's happening right now, go on the daily journey with you version of Instagram, of TikTok, of the social platforms. People want to be a part of your journey, and so now we're doing this beautiful storytelling where we're bringing them into our lives, both inside of our business and outside of the context of our business, so that they can get to know us better, develop that trust with us, and learn more about our business in the process. So now creators are taking people on the journey of their day and then relating it back to what they do, so that it makes logical sense for putting your dinner in front of people on your social platforms in a way that's going to help them to grow inside of your business and the ecosystem that you've created. So let's break down what does and does not work, what you should be looking for as you're doing this to make sure you're effectively creating content, documenting what you're already doing, which saves you a ton of time and effort, and then builds that trust factor with your audience. So you do have several ways of doing this. You can do this in a first-person narrative where you are filming things where people feel like they're the ones who are there. That means you're going to have your phone and you are going to be able to film the things in front of you. You're going to show them as if it's through their eyes or through your eyes, but there's also going to be a third-person narrative where you're filming what you're doing. And you're going to mix these for the most part. Now, some people will stick exclusively to that first-person narrative, and those are more for travel vloggers, they're more for food people, that's more for people who are not necessarily building a personalized brand or running a business. That is something that is more on the travel side of things, where people want to just see what it is and not get to know you on a personal level. If you're in the business world, you do need to be developing that trust factor with them, so it's important to have you in a little bit of it. Now, you do not want it to be entirely them watching you do things, because at some point that's going to get a little boring, so we want to give them these options. We want to have different viewpoints, which actually helps to make things a lot easier on you as well. So the first thing we're going to be doing is introducing the narrative to them. Remember, we're telling a story through this. We want to take them on the journey of coming to that lunch, to the brunch, to the dinner with us, and we want to show where we're going, what we're doing. We're setting up what they can anticipate. And it's also important to get something that's going to catch their eye. Now, you can do it in that first-person narrative where you're kind of showing the building you're walking into or the location you're going to set up your picnic brunch in. But it's also really helpful to show a shot of you so that they know, oh, this is this person's content. I'm going to pause to watch it and see what's going on. I prefer to start off with an image of you walking toward the building, walking into the building or the location, and making sure that your face is front and center so that they can say, oh, okay, I know this person. Let me just hold on and see what's going on here before I scroll away. Now, you can, if you again are doing travel-y things, show a cool location that might get some attention, but if you're developing that trust factor with your fans, go with your face first. So you're going to want to have yourself walking toward the location, and then from there, you can kind of decide where you want to go with that narrative. I more so lean toward that first-person viewpoint where they're seeing through their own eyes without seeing you in camera, and that also means you get to shoot the things that you need without having somebody do it for you. It makes it a little easier on yourself, and you can get the shots that you need. So you're going to walk into the building or the location, you're going to do a sweeping view of it, and remember as you're doing this to take different versions of things. So let's say you've got a plate of food in front of you, you're going to sweep over it like this. You're going to go up and down like this. You're going to move it in different ways so that you can see it. You can even set it up so that your phone is on the opposite side and it's in the foreground and you're in the background, and one of you can be blurry and one of you can be in focus. You can actually tap it back and forth to get different versions of this, because you may discover you like different things as you are editing this later. So get a lot of options. Go slow, go faster, whip things around, move things up and down. You want to make sure that you have options to work with later on, and it's real easy to just do it very quickly as you are going. So you can kind of across, back and forth, up, down, this way, that way, just kind of move it in different ways and look for ways that you can kind of sweep the camera's gaze to something else. So I really love being able to focus on a light and then transfer the video over to the big open restaurant. You have the ability to kind of focus on different things instead of just one particular clip. Or you do have the ability to focus on just the food in front of you. You can do this in multiple ways and take a lot of variations inside of your clips to then learn what you like for later on. So you want to make sure that first things first, you've got yourself moving into the location, then you want a big sweeping view of that location so people know what it looks like. We want the ambiance and the atmosphere. You're setting up our scene and telling us the narrative. From there, then you have the ability to kind of go in different directions. You can do things like film the menu, you can film yourself opening the menu, you can have it so that it's just your hands opening the menu. Again, back to that first person narrative. You could have somebody film you as you are ordering or as you're, cutting your food apart and about to take a bite. So you can film yourself in different variations of this to get different things you can work with. You don't have to use it all. If you don't use something, put it into a file for B-roll and use it later on. Things that you shoot right now don't have to make it into a video right now. You can put those in videos later on from your B-rolls folder. So now you want to make sure that you're documenting everything. Document the silverware, document that menu. You're going to document putting the napkin on your lap if it's a fancy restaurant. You are going to document taking a drink. You're going to document the people that you're with. Or maybe you're all going to have your glasses and you're going to cheers and you're going to show just the hands and the cups. Or maybe you are going to show everyone having fun and celebrating. Take different variations of this so that you can use them later. So we're documenting the food, the drinks, the silverware, the atmosphere, the actual room that you're going to be in. There's a lot of things that you can do, and here's a pro tip for you. Make sure that you have permission to do this before you do this. If you are being big and loud about the documentation that you're doing, people are going to notice, people are going to see you, and some restaurants aren't okay with that. So if you're documenting food while you're out, just make sure it's okay with them first, and make sure you're not encroaching on anybody else's space, you're not causing a spectacle. We don't want to be drawing people's attention away from their own conversations, so we're not interrupting other people, but it's absolutely something that most restaurants are going to want because that means people are going to get more eyes on them. It's free marketing for them, so most people will be okay with it. But get permission first, and if they ask you to stop, stop. You want to make sure that you are respectful of everybody so that in the future you can continue to do these things without having a negative reputation follow you around. So you want to make sure that you're documenting every little thing that you see from different angles. So go low, go high. Like I said, I love things in the foreground. So you can actually set your dishes here, and you can set your phone up here and then focus on someone on the other side. I did this with my nieces this weekend, and I focused my camera on their faces, and I had pizza in the foreground so you could see the stacks of pizza. There were like multiple trays of pizza in front of us on different stands, and through that I could see my niece, and it was a really cool shot. And you can also do that for yourself. Have somebody else hold your camera and shoot across it with the understanding that they're going to tap on your face so that it focuses on you and not the thing in front of you. You can also do this yourself. If you want to, you can prop your glass or you can prop your phone up against a glass and then film yourself just like this. Now you may have a little trouble with it. You might have to scoot down in your seat a little bit, but there are options for doing this on your own as well. So your ultimate goal is to get as much footage as possible and then splice it together. I would say 1/3 of your clips can be of you. I would even do a little bit less if you want to elevate those views because again, most people want to experience things with you. It's important to make sure your face is in there a little bit so they can get to know you, but not take over the entire thing. We are making sure that this is experiential for them and not just look at me kind of a reel. So with that in mind, you are creating a really good story. You're telling them how things are coming, and as you're editing them together, keep in mind the order of things that happen. You're not going to walk in and then have food and then be seen ordering your food, right? So you want to make sure you're telling the story, going through it in a sequential order, and creating a narrative that then relates back to what you're doing. At that point, you can use your text on screen to relate it back to your business, or you can use your caption to relate it back to your business, talk about how you're taking a break, or how you went out for a group business lunch, or whatever it happens to be. You're relating it to yourself and to your brand in some kind of way, and then asking those questions to get people to respond back to you. Now, I do not recommend necessarily documenting your lunch every single day, but this is kind of fun to do every 1 week, every 2 weeks. If you're doing fun things, go out, do personal things, relate it back to your business through your caption or through your text, and show people how you operate inside and outside of your business. If you have other things that you've seen, trendy vlog-like things that you've seen on Instagram Reels or on TikTok or wherever, and you want to know how you can effectively make those and leverage it inside of your business too, go ahead and let me know what topics down below. Hit the subscribe and notification bell for daily videos on how you can level up on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, live streaming, and within the tools and resources that you need to create your done with you social media content so that you can get back to your business faster. And I'll see you in the next video.